What's up guys, and welcome to part 3 of the Resident Evil 8 Retrospective. Today we're going to look at the weapons of Resident Evil 8. I'm going to stick to the base game ones and not the unlockables because I haven't finished the game on the hardest difficulty yet. But first up we have the Lemmy. So the gun itself is actually based off the CZ-2075 Raimi. However, the in-game version apparently contains a different hammer as well as a redesigned safety and wrapping around the hand grip. There's no clear reason why this was done, but it may be implied that the firearm was modified by the owner. You first receive the gun near the beginning of the game. It's handed to you by Gregory shortly before he's killed. By far the worst firearm in the game, it is heavily upgradable though. But by the time players receive the 1911, they will most likely replace it due to the 1911's full auto firing.
Hang on, Papa.
If you pre-ordered the game, the next weapon, the Samurai Edge, can be purchased from the Duke as soon as you reach him. This gun is based off the civilian Beretta 92 FS, one of the most famous handguns ever made. The pistol first entered military service in 1984 and was not replaced by the military until 2017. In-game, the Samurai Edge features both a blazer sight and a suppressor on the barrel. Unfortunately, the gun is totally unupgradable, meaning it has a fairly low damage and a 9-round clip. For a pre-order bonus, it was very underwhelming. Next up is the famous 1911. What's interesting is that appearance-wise it most closely resembles the Colt M45, a Colt variant of the original, but what separates the in-game version is its fully automatic firing. Apparently there are full auto 1911s, but due to the large 45 caliber round, they're completely impractical. Completely different from the in-game version. You can get both a long, extended clip and a grip that reduces recoil as attachments. Overall, it's a great handgun, and probably the one you use the most in-game. Another interesting pistol is the BRugger and Thermit USW-A1. Personally, I think this pistol is hideous, but that's just my opinion. You first see the pistol near the end of the game when you first take control of Chris. In real life, the pistol is known for having a built-in collapsible stock and actually being developed by the Swiss. The in-game version has a red dot sight, a suppressor, and a flashlight. Overall, the in-game version is pretty good damage and a decent fire rate. One of my favorite weapons in the game is the M1851 Wolfsbane. The weapon is actually a Colt 1851 single-action revolver. It's a very famous Old West era revolver, actually appearing in the Clint Eastwood film The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. In-game, it's found after defeating Moreau and exploring near the windmill. It uses extremely rare magnum rounds, but as such is very powerful. Also, it can be fitted with a longer barrel, increasing accuracy, and a 7-round cylinder, which is only possible in a video game.
Okay, big guy.
Shortly after getting the Lemmy, the player finds a M1987 lying on the table. Unlike the previous weapon, this gun shares the same name as its real-life counterpart. This particular variant, also known as the trench gun, the Winchester Model 1897, is one of the most famous shotguns of all time. It was used all the way from the Old West up until the Korean War. What's interesting about the gun in-game is that the description says commonly used for hunting. However, this particular variant was used exclusively for combat. It features beautiful engravings and can be fitted with a golden trigger to improve rate of fire.
I don't want to die.
And now we get to go full auto. The first submachine gun you can purchase from the Duke is the VS1 Custom. Known in real life as the SAVZ-61 Scorpion, it's a well-known firearm and has been featured in countless other video games. The first Black Ops game comes to mind instantly for me. The in-game version can be fitted with a longer barrel, a drum mag, which apparently doesn't exist in real life, and a wooden stock. Overall, it's a solid mid-game submachine gun. If you happen to stumble into a house near House Beneviento, pretty sure I just said that wrong, you'll find the W870 Tac. The real-life counterpart is actually the Remington Model 870 and is typically featured with a stock due to recoil. The in-game one, however, has no stock, but can be fitted with one later down the road, as well as a foregrip. But for whatever reason, it just seems really underpowered to me throughout my playthrough, and I quickly moved on to another weapon. The third shotgun featured in the game is the SYG-12. Taking its likeness from the very popular Saiga 12 semi-auto shotgun, it is probably the best one in the game. Its semi-auto firing as well as solid damage make it a terrific weapon. It's purchased from the Duke near the end of the game. And if it wasn't already good enough, you can put a red dot sight, drum magazine, and a long barrel on it. The only sniper featured in the game is the F2, which is actually a FR F2 rifle. Despite being quite powerful, I really didn't find myself using this weapon throughout my playthrough, except for flying enemies and bosses. The in-game model can be fitted with both an extended magazine and a better scope. Once you take control of Chris, you get to use the Dragoon. This weapon most closely resembles the Mini Draco, which is a variant of the AKM. The AKM, of course, being derived from the most famous assault rifle of all time, the AK-47. There's a reason you get the Dragoon so late in the game, however, as it effectively breaks the survival horror aspect and turns the game into Call of Duty light. You get tons of ammo in that segment and can now easily down Lycans with ease. After beating the game, you can unlock it in future playthroughs in the extra content.
Contact with a group of hostile bioweapons.
There's more than we thought. Watch out. Western route is clear. Moving out.
Roger that.
And of course, we cannot forget about the series iconic M79 grenade launcher. The weapon has appeared in nearly every RE title, from the first all the way up to the remakes and now Village. It returns here and is fairly useful having multiple types of grenades. Moreau's area in particular has you using it a ton to destroy giant mucus walls blocking your way. Yuck. So that just about sums up the weapons of Village. I may return to this once I unlock the bonus weapons, but the Village of Shadows difficulty absolutely kicks my ass. Thanks guys, and I'll see you next time on the Resident Evil 8 Retrospective.